Why do trucks roll back in drive? The shocking truth they don't teach ya. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Patrick Bill, your HGV instructor with over 20 years of experience and hundreds of tales just waiting to be told. Some of them you will laugh at, some you will learn from, and others might just leave you in shock. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more tips, tricks and stories coming your way. And if you're planning to train as an HGV driver, check out the description for our contact details. Now, let's get into today's topic. Why do trucks roll back in drive and what can you do to stop it? That's a question that gets a lot of new drivers scratching their heads and maybe panicking when it actually happens on a hill. But here's the kicker. It's not because the truck hates you, though it might feel like that sometimes. There is very logical explanation behind it. And today I'm not only going to give you the answer, but also tell you how to handle it like a pro, so you don't roll back and scare the life out of your examiner or the driver behind you. The heel start horror story. Picture this. You stop on incline, heart pounding, waiting to pull away. You take your foot off the brake and bam, the truck starts rolling backwards. And suddenly you're on a collision course with the car behind you. That's it. Test failed. But why did it happen? A lot of people assume that because trucks have automatic gearboxes, AMT to be precise, we'll get into that in a second, they shouldn't roll back. It's in drive, it should just go forward, right? Well, not so fast. Unlike car automatic gearboxes, the gearbox in a truck operates very differently. And understanding this difference is what separates the rookies from the pros. Understanding the gearboxes, what you need to know. Let's clear up the confusion about the gearboxes before we go any further. If you've driven a car, you're probably familiar with two types. Automatic gearbox used in cars. The classic automatic transmission in cars uses a torque converter. This means the engine is constantly connected to the gearbox through a fluid coupling, even when the vehicle is stationary. That's why cars don't roll back as much. There is always a small amount of power going to the wheels. Manual gearboxes used everywhere. We all know this one, or do we? The clutch pedal, the gear stick. You press the clutch, disengage the engine and select the gear manually. Simple, right? Next one, AMTs, automatic manual transmission, used in trucks mainly. This is where things get interesting. Most modern trucks use AMT, which is basically a robotized manual gearbox. Imagine your old school manual gearbox, but instead of you operating the clutch and gears, a computer and actuators are doing for you. Sounds fancy, but here's the catch. AMT doesn't have the same constant connection between the engine and the wheels as car's automatic gearbox. So when you stop on a hill and the truck is in drive, there is no torque converter to hold you steady. Unless you take specific action like applying the handbrake, gravity will win and the truck will go back and roll back. Why hill start can go wrong? Now, this is where things get a little tricky during your test. Most trucks have a hill start assist system that will hold the brakes for you temporarily. But, and here's the big but, these systems aren't foolproof. They only hold for a few seconds, and if you take too long to apply power, they'll let go. Plus, what happens if the hill start system fails? You can't rely on technology alone to save you. That's why we teach all our students to master the classic hill start technique. Here's how it works. Stop on the incline. When you stop, pull up the handbrake to secure the vehicle. Prep yourself to move. Put the truck in drive or select the gear if you are in manual. Add power Gently press the accelerator to build up the revs. Then release the handbrake as soon as you feel the truck pulling. Release the handbrake smoothly and move off. So mastering this technique will make you feel in control, and trust me, it's a lifesaver when hill assist decides to quit on you. Here's a blast from the past. Let me tell you a little story. When I was doing my car license back in the day, yeah, it was a while ago, we had 2 weeks of classroom training before we even get into the car. 2 weeks! I knew more about how the clutch worked than I knew about the algebra. And I could explain all the brakes. When I moved to my HGV license, we also had a good chunk of classroom time to learn about the air system braking and gearboxes and everything else. It's knowledge that sticks with you. But here's the funny thing. Today, a lot of this technical training has disappeared. Many new drivers don't even know what kind of gearbox they are dealing with, let alone how it works. And that's why you get situations like hill starts going wrong, or drivers thinking they are in automatic when really it's an AMT that behaves very differently. The Horsebox Surprise. Here is a cheeky story example for you. Let's say you buy yourself a big horsebox or a camper van with an AMT. You're thinking, oh, it's an automatic, no big deal. But then you notice the gearbox fluid reservoir and think, do I need to top up this? Well, here's the punchline. That fluid is actually for a manual gearbox, not an automatic. Yep. Welcome to the quirky world of AMTs, where nothing is quite what it seems. Knowing that's under the hood or under the floor is a key to avoid surprise like that. Bottom line, observation and control. Rolling back on a hill during your HGV test isn't just a technical fail, it's a confidence killer. The key to avoiding it is observation and control. Slow everything down, watch what's happening around you, apply the handbrake, get a little power on, and ease your way forward. If you don't have the basics of vehicle control nailed down, you won't have the time or mental space to focus on your surroundings. And trust me, that's when mistakes happen. Over to you. So, there you have it. The shocking truth about why trucks roll back in drive and how to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Have you ever had a scary hill starts experience, or maybe a hilarious gearbox mishap? Share your stories in the comments, I'd love to hear them. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks to get you through your HGV training like a pro. Looking for the best training out there? Retro Commercial Training has got you back. Check the description for our number and give us a call. See you in the next video. Drive safe.